Hello beautiful, welcome back to my channel. I am Miss D, and for all of you who don't know who I am, this is not normally my regular look on my channel. I am doing it to prove a point, and hopefully you stick with me. If you do, please consider subscribing, hitting that little red button and making it gray, and give me a great big thumbs up if you like the content today. And leave me a comment below. I love hearing from you and knowing what your ideas and thoughts and opinions are. All I ask is that you be kind, of course. That makes my day though, so thank you. And if you really enjoy, then go ahead and hit that little bell button that will notify you the next time I upload new content to my channel. So let's get going. Today, as you see in the title, to blend is your friend, and I have not blended anything on my face. Well, a couple of things like my concealer and foundation and that kind of thing, but everything else, any bit of color that I really placed onto my skin has not been blended, and it looks ridiculous. So I would not ever dream of going out of the house looking like this, but I did it to prove a point, and that this look is actually savable as well. We just have to do a little bit of work and blend, blend, blend. To blend is your friend. Just like Nikki says, of Nikki Tutorials, not to prime is a crime, right? So to blend is your friend. And actually I remember watching a Jaclyn Hill tutorial way back in the day, back when she was still married to John, and I just remember him saying, blend into your fingers bleed. And sometimes it does feel like you're just sitting there and all you're doing is swirling and blending, and oh my god. But this is where that transition shade on your eyes comes in really handy, because as I said in my last video, and I will link that up there for you, it is the place where all your colors come together and can be blended into. So we are going to do that. I actually used the It's My Pleasure palette by ColourPop. Sorry about the glare on there. And this is what that looks like. It is beautiful. There's pinks and plums and mauves and purples and whatever, and some sparkly sheen, some satin, some matte. Oh my goodness, so many things in there. And it's just 9 pans in that palette, but I love it. All right, so I've already used a couple of my my brushes on my eyes and on my face and whatnot. So what I'm going to do is just start taking this. This one is by Quo, and it is a pencil brush. It's kind of a little bit thicker than most of the other pencil brushes that I have, but I'm just gonna go in and start to blend these two darker colors together. I used this with this color here, and I will list that color because I can't see it without my glasses, but I'll just blend that into that darker shade. And then what I'm going to do is take this brush here, it is a blending brush, and start to blend out on the outside and draw that that darker shade all the way across, so that it just kind of makes everything cohesive. And then take my original color and buff out that edge so that it is not so harsh. And look at how that just changes the dynamic of the colors on my eye and makes everything look good. Now what I'm going to do is just go back into the inner corner color and bring that across my eye into that deeper color in the middle, so that again it just all becomes transitional all the way across. So take a look at my two eyes now that I've got this side blended and this side is still not. There's quite a huge difference, isn't there, right? So, and this one is much more pleasant to look at for sure, or I think so anyways. I'm going to do exactly the same to underneath my eye as well. I'm just actually going to take the color that I used as my setting color and run it along this bottom shade in my under eye area, just to buff that out, to blend it out so that it does not look so harsh. There we go. That, I think, just kind of completes that. And I'll go and do this other side as well, blend these two colors together. And it takes so very little. I am using very little pressure when I'm doing this. So it's not like I'm having to exert a whole bunch. It just takes time. And again, I'll pull that color, that deeper color, all the way across. And then go back and blend out that outside so that there's no harsh lines. All right, there we go with that. Now you're probably wondering, oh boy, what is she going to do with all these lines on her face? Okay, so I'm just gonna start pushing this up. This is my cheek contour so that it contours out this cheekbone area. And I'll push that into my hairline as well, just on the side of my face. And up, up, up here. That just really changes the look of everything as I work along and push everything up. And if you make a mistake, kind of like I have right here, you always have the option of going in. This is a damp sponge, and I'm just tapping it into my powder, and I'm going to go along and just clean that up. See, that just cleaned that up so nicely so that that darkness is not so harsh. And this side, I went a little bit too crazy with the color down at the bottom along my jawline, so I'll just remove the harshness of that as well on this side of my face. All right, probably the most difficult part is my nose. So let's get going on that. I am going to take a completely brand new brush that I haven't used any color with at all, and I'm going to start working on this. I went a little bit too dark, so what I'm going to do is just remove as much of this as possible with a makeup wipe. There isn't any problem when you make a mistake. Everything is fixable. All right, so I have reapplied my foundation and reapplied powder on top of there so that there's something to blend into. And of course, I've drawn those little lines on my nose to make them appear, my nose appear slimmer. And now I'm just gonna work that into my nose so that it blends, and I'll just use the same brush that I used to apply the color and blend it out so that it is not so harsh. And again, if you do make an error, that is okay. Do not ever beat yourself up about that. I have my brush here that I was using, my flat kabuki brush that I was using to apply my foundation, and I'll just actually go along and buff that up a little bit into that line so that again it removes any kind of harshness. And it just begins to make it look really, really pretty and really slender in there. And how I'm going to finish that off on top of my nose is to go in with a little bit of highlighter. And of course the Jacqueline little palette, the Flash, and just do a little dot on my nose and then across my bridge. I want to put some blush onto my cheeks. So I'm going to go into the Becca palette and use my Morphe angled blush brush. This one is the JH04, and I'm going to go into the rosé color here just on the side and press that into the top of my cheeks. Now, I'm just gonna go quickly put on some eyelashes and finish this look off. Okay, ladies, this is the completed look. I hope it looks a whole ton better than what it did when you first clicked on and were like, oh. I had fun doing this. I hope you had fun coming along with me on this little journey. And we all learned something, I hope. I loved doing this, and I would love to see you in my next video. Thank you so much for being here, and remember, ladies, I am enough.